Hello everybody, it's Sephiroth4 for another weekly update. First of all, I'm using my Sennheiser for this. Normally I like doing the weekly update with my USB microphone, my Go mic, because I just like its sound a little better because I'm still working on this. It's this one. But there's currently a party at my house and everyone is really loud and this is much more noise canceling than that, so I'm using this. Also, it kind of looks good with the hat. I don't know. It looks terrible without the hat because it's just this egg-shaped head. But yeah. So this past week, yeah, and I can also the sound doesn't change if I move around, so that's nice too. This past week was Pants on Head Week. Pants on Head Week is over though. The video will go up later today for that. We got 17 entries plus one absentee ballot. Someone who wasn't able to contribute, but I'm counting him anyway, and so I'll be donating towards that, plus my own entry, which is just going to be me doing the video. So that's 19 total, which equals $57 donated to charity. So good job, guys. Good job. So that video will be up later, and you'll see it. I'm wearing my Loot Crate shirt. It is the kittens. Can't really see because the glare, but it's a kitten. It's kittens in shape of a skull. I love it. Such a good shirt. Loot Crate is best stuff. I was at GameStop yesterday, getting Bayonetta 2 and Pokemon Art Academy, and I was wearing my Mighty Might shirt. You know the. Let's see if I can reach it. This one. It's like the Might in a Legend of Zelda thing. And my little brother was wearing his Lucky Source shirt from uh, the TeaTurtle.com, and there was another guy there who was wearing the Legend of Zelda shirt from the Adventure Loot Crate. It's like Link in like a slashing position with like made out of words. So everyone was getting compliments all around for their shirts, and it was a good time had by all. So it was fun. I don't know if you can hear the screaming in the background, but I sure can even through these. It's wonderful. It's great. I was going to record today because I was promised they would all be outside, but that never happens. I didn't think that that's what would happen, but I'm not a person that it's nice to hope for something, to say, "Yes, we'll try to do blank, don't worry." It's another thing to make a promise to that effect when you know it's just not going to happen. I mean, when you have a lot of people coming over to your house and it's like a windy day and it's the end of October already, everyone's going to be inside. And don't give up people's hope for that. And it's just like a general thing. I am more of a realist than an optimist, which hasn't always been good for my mental health, but I think overall it has. And, uh, you know, I don't delude myself into thinking that certain things are going to happen, even though they should happen. So that's just how it works. It is how I keep my sanity. One of my other pieces of advice for keeping sanity is to lapse into insanity on occasion and sometimes frequently. It is beautiful. Uh, and I'm not talking about just like acting weird. I'm just talking about like sitting yourself down in a room, playing, crazy music that you like at a loud volume, not like to disturb other people. I'm just saying playing something that you like, something that stirs emotions in you, and just let your mind completely wander. Uh, it sounds like a drug trip, but it probably is. Although, based on my experiences with some prescription medication I've had, I guess it is kind of like a drug trip. Essentially, you just sit there and uh, you, at least what I do, this also happens whenever I have to get those really long MRIs between whenever I get scans. It takes like a 3-hour MRI. Imagine 3 hours in an MRI tube. Isn't that wonderful? So fun. They have music for me, but that's also like loud noises and music, and I essentially lapse into a state of semi-consciousness where I feel my mind detach from my body and I go insane. Like insanity is turned into a very strange weekly update. I can't really explain it without you experiencing, but this isn't the insanity of like Daffy Duck, bouncing off the walls going, you know, or the insanity of I don't know, like a Manson or something, killing mass killings of people. No, I'm talking about like a lack of control in any way, shape, or form over where your mind goes. And there's a difference there between dwelling on something and not being able to get off of it, and just physically not being able to control your mind. Like if everybody gets into a rut thinking about something and it depresses them and they obsess over it, and that's one thing. That's not insanity. That's craziness. Insanity is essentially detaching yourself from your mind and then just watching it go. And it's such a weird feeling. But it's very time consuming, which is a nice thing when you're in a 3-hour MRI. And it's fascinating to watch because you're detached from yourself. And when you're done and you gain control of yourself again and you have no idea what the hell just went on, uh, it's, I don't know, I find it revitalizing. I'm weird, I'm crazy, and this has been my ramblings, but I don't know how I got onto this topic. Um, but you should really try insanity. It does wonders for you when done right. And like I'm saying, just lay down in a room listening to loud music. Don't listen to anything at all. I do the music thing because if I'm not listening to any music, then I tend to be focusing on one specific thing at a time, and I can't get to the critical mass point where it's firing in all directions. So I usually try to listen to music, uh, music that stirs up something in me that I like. Uh, you know, not with no internet on or anything. Just not doing anything, and it just kind of starts going all over the place. I guess you can call it meditation too, but the meditation that I've done in the past, the only types of meditation that I've done that have actually been effective are the ones where you completely clear your mind of everything. And it has a similar feeling of like electronic, like things just zapping all over the place, but uh, not in your head. I felt that more throughout the rest of my body. It's really hard to explain this to somebody who hasn't done this, but um, this type of meditation is a meditation of over input as opposed to lack of input, if that makes any sense. Essentially, you your mind goes in so many different directions that it's physically unable to keep up with it, and so the rest of you just takes a step back to watch. It's just, God damn, that kid is messed up. Just sitting by like it's like your brain's in a bonfire and just, hey, saw that one last week. He had plenty of promise, but not anymore. Not anymore. It's very therapeutic. It is, and I am crazy. Well, no, I'm insane, but it is one of the reasons why I've been able to last for so long. Because whenever I get into like a really, really, really depressive state, and it's been happening more, just because of my situation, uh, these brief lapses into insanity have when I come back and I gain control of myself, everything is just a bit clearer, and it's nice. I would suggest it. Just try to let your mind wander to the point. It's really hard because if you notice that your mind is wandering, then you start like picking out certain things that it wanders to, and then that defeats the purpose. It's kind of like in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The trick to flying is falling to the ground and missing. Essentially, you have to be distracted at the very last second, and then you start flying, so you forget to hit the ground. It's kind of like that, but it's fun. It's fun. And if you find that you can't make yourself go insane, I would suggest playing video games and eating food, because that is also what has been helping me. Especially yesterday, I started playing Bayonetta 1. I decided to go with the first one um, over the second one to start because, I don't want to jump in. And it is a fun game. Oh my gosh. I love Platinum. I've played some other games that have been from Platinum type titles. I've played Okami, which it was Clover Studios and became Platinum, and they have the rights to it. There's actually an Okami reference at one point, and the Bayonetta makes so many references to uh, the other games, and also it's something I saw in the Wonderful 101. But I own Okami, I own the Wonderful 101, and now I have Bayonetta 1 and 2. I don't think I have any. I never played Beautiful Joe, but I wanted to. But yeah, I just love the over the top style that they have. Uh, Over the top. It shames the term over the top. The fighting is very fun. The costumes that they put in are hilarious. It's very funny seeing Link Bayonetta walking around shooting guns. I also put up a thing on Miiverse. At one point, I was in the Samus Bayonetta costume, and she was going like this during a cutscene. So I put a Miiverse post that said, like, in quotes, "Why can't Metroid crawl?" Just Bayonetta going, dressed as Samus. Why can't Metroid crawl? It was good. There's like a lot of references to other stuff. There's at one point one of the shopkeepers says, "What you buying?" He's like, "I picked that up from a game once." Uh, and like Bayonetta draws this guy's face with lipstick into Amaterasu's red markings. It's just, I love the references. Wonderful 101 had a lot of references to the other games too. So I'm looking forward to finishing this game. I'm up to like chapter 4 or 5 or something. But there were shotguns, and you can get all sorts of customization, and it reminds me a bit of God of War actually, but I don't know which came first. But yeah, it's good stuff. So I'm looking forward to finishing it. I might let's play it in the future actually. Uh, just I know it's kind of a racy game, but just from my experience, when you're in a Nintendo costume, uh, Bayonetta, like during the climax sequences when you're finishing a boss, uh, the costume doesn't come off like if you're dressed as regular Bayonetta, so it's not as scantily clad, so you can get around censorship that way, or you could do censorship that way. Technically, you can get around squeamish people. The only problem is the gratuitous violence and language, but I don't think it's really a problem because it's fun. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. Uh, I might do a video on it, like a first look at type of thing, second look at. I'll call it a first look at and lie to you all, and you'll never know. Maybe I recorded it already. Well, actually, no, you probably know that I didn't record it because it just said so. Yeah, maybe should have thought about that. My little brother also got Pokemon Art Academy, which is pretty fun so far. I haven't tried it out yet, but he's liking it. And finally, this week is Scribblenauts theme week. What that is that the previous episode of Let's Create and Scribblenauts Unlimited, which was uploaded like the beginning of the month, I announced that it's going to be a Halloween themed week this week. Week, 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 week. Yeah, I'm gonna keep saying week until that word is completely devalued to you. You could do that. You could do it with any word. Just say, any word was any, and all of a sudden it doesn't have any meaning whatsoever. It's wonderful. You like it. It tastes bad in your mouth to try to say that word because you're like, what? It okay? I devalued it completely. And it's a lesson in using your speech properly and having a thesaurus handy. I'm always there for you. But yeah, essentially, people can comment in the comment section of the previous Scribblenauts. Let's create Scribblenauts, and all this week I'm going to be making a video each day with a bunch of creations that are Halloween themed. I'm not going to be making every single one, but if the creations are good and different from the other ones, then I'll be making it, and I'm going to be making to kind of make up for the fact that we didn't have many Let's Creates in the past few weeks. So I have gotten a lot of suggestions so far, but I would love to see from the people that don't normally join, namely the people that watch these, watch the updates, because I don't know how many of you like. I mean, some of you have commented in the past on the Scribblenauts. I don't know how many of you watch it. I know somebody told me the other day that they watched all my videos since they've subscribed, which is crazy. But in general, like I don't see suggestions from you guys, so I would love to see it. Like if you don't know the format, just take a look at any of the past videos, and it just has to be something Halloween themed. It's good. Just say a pumpkin with a unicorn horn on his head, and he sounds like a duck, and he can fly, and he shoots nuclear warheads, and call him Pumpkin Duck Doom. I don't know. Something like that. There's a lot more customization to do. But anyway, this is getting very long. I'm sorry. I rambled on about insanity. It's really hard to describe my trips into insanity because you can't really try to do them. You kind of just have to sit there and your mind just leaves, like it buys a ticket to the next station and you watch it get off on the train and it like leaves the train station and then you walk home expecting it to get to the next station, but halfway through it opens the door between the two cars, jumps off, rolls down the hill and runs away, and then it's the train keeps going and he never arrives and he just goes off into some field and lives in a forest for 20 years surviving on nothing but nuts and beets and the leavings of small children because it's actually a national park, and people just kind of bring all their fast food there and put it in the garbage cans because people are wasteful. And eventually, he's found by the park rangers, and he was put in the wolf pen and raised by the local wildlife, and learns the language of the elk. And then 20 years later, he returns to you, and you're like, "Hey, you missed your train." And he's like, "Yeah, I did." And that's what insanity is like. This has been Severalt Level 4 with the weekly update. Goodbye, everybody. And maybe I'll see your suggestions. And later today, the Pants on Head Week video will be up. Bye bye.